We don't lose when things do not happen. When we do not receive desired results, we lose when we expect we won't be able to receive desired results. We lose when we overlook the results that we have achieved. Things do not make sense when we feel like we are doing something that is not making sense. Things do not make sense when it feels like what we were looking for, we haven't achieved anything. Things stop making sense when actually we are doing something that is not for us. Or things stop making sense when we believe in something else and we do something else. Things stop making sense when we give up by overlooking all the results that we have achieved, by comparing how far we have come, and by simply diluting the meaning of everything that we have achieved so far. And in that moment, things stop making sense. But actually, the things always make sense, regardless of the results that we have achieved. Regardless of results that we have achieved, but in not that way, the way we were looking for. The moment we look back, the moment we figure out where we were and now where we are. And in that time, things make sense. It takes time to observe things. It takes time to perceive things in another way, with another lens. And then we feel like things are making sense. Things do not make sense when we idolize our results at that specific level and we do not compromise, and it feels like why we are not there yet. But things actually make sense because we are moving towards that specific level. Things do not make sense when we imagine that we should have been there till now. But things make sense. At least we are going towards that level. And we will be at that level when the time will come up. But the problem is we always consider things do not make sense when things do not happen. But things are always happening. But the problem is we perceive like things are not happening. Our focus is truly on that specific level that we want to achieve rather than that we have achieved. Our focus is only on that result that we are looking for, and we haven't reached that specific level. We haven't touched that specific bar. And it feels like things are not making sense. We receive feedback, either it's negative or it's positive, or receive negative feedback most of the time. And it feels like things are not making sense. But somehow we are receiving feedback, and it means things are making sense. Or even if there is one positive feedback, it means we are going forward. It's still better than nothing. There was time when we were not receiving feedback, but there is a time that we've started receiving response from people. Either it was a kind of criticism or it was a kind of constructive feedback. But the moment we idolized that we receive result, we receive feedback in a positive way, people will admire us, people will love us, people will follow us, and then it feels like things are not making sense. Again, things make sense. Every single effort that we put, it makes sense. I'm gonna give you my example. When I started my YouTube channel first time, I was receiving responses, but I was not able to idolize results the way I should have idolized. In 4 months, I've managed to secure 355 subscribers. I used to review movies, but the feedback that I was receiving, it was positive, it was negative. But just by considering negative feedback a little bit more than anything, I deleted that channel. Because again, I idolized my success in the form of positive feedback, and I'd be able to reach to that level at that specific time. In that period, I was not able to realize that things take time. What we are looking for, it takes more time than we expect. And sometime we stuck in plateau too. There was a problem that I had limited resources. I started my channel with my EPF. I didn't have job at that time, but I was putting efforts. I was receiving response. But here on one video, I received a lot more curse words, negative feedback, and I simply conceded. This thing was not for me, and I deleted the whole channel. I ruined all of my efforts that I put. And if I consider my new example, when I started making video, I received a bunch of views in several months. And the time came up when I was not receiving any views. The moment I was simply about to give up. Right before filming this video, I was thinking, whatever I'm doing, does it really make sense? I film video, I share my things. What I observe, I try to share with people. I try to connect with people, try to know what they are going through so that I could figure out what can be a solution of that specific situation. And that's why I created that channel. And the moment I looked back a little bit, I compared the views that I got in my initial videos in months. I started having views in days, and then automatically it seemed to me things are making sense. And in this way, we all need to consider things always make sense the moment we put efforts. Either we have no idea how things will happen, either we have no feedback, either we don't know how to improve our things, but every single effort counts. Every single video counts. Every single application counts the moment we apply for a job. It takes time. We can get rejected every single time. We receive response sometime. We stumble upon good and bad experiences sometime. But every experience teaches us something. Either we realize or we do not realize, or simply if we consider to be in that journey, the more we stay, the more we intensify the chances of achieving things. And that's what I learned just before filming this video. Otherwise, I didn't have any idea of shooting anything. I was not able to shoot anything. Shooting videos seemed like a challenge for me. But then, when I received a comment, there was nothing in that comment, simply there was a red heart. Inspired me to film this video. And we all can have these kind of moments, these kind of encouragement from people. And that was more than anything for me the moment I saw that red heart. And still, something is better than nothing. And the moment we are comfortable with that something, and we automatically figure out things are making sense. Results usually ripple slowly. At the moment we accept, results take time. We feel comfortable, and we feel comfortable with the mechanism of how things make sense. And the moment things make no sense, actually things make sense. Here is the beauty of things. Here's the beauty of results. Here is the beauty of every single initiative that we take. The moment we realize this thing, we don't give up easily. We always stay in that journey. But sometimes giving up makes sense. Sometimes things actually do not make sense. In that scenario, all we can do, either we can try different approach or simply we can switch to another thing. Because we are not here to repeat same mistakes over and over again. We are not here to bark up with wrong tree and wasting the overall time and energy. We are not here to beat ourselves up every single time for the things that are not for us. And if the results are same, nothing is changing. We have done everything that we could do. We tried every single thing. We learned things. We stacked skills. We took feedback, but nothing happened. In that scenario, things literally do not make sense. But sometimes things take time, and more time than we expect. And I consider this time as a natural time. The reason behind this, the natural time, depends on our efforts. There are people who grow up in days. There are people who foster success in months. There are people who do the same thing, but it takes years to them to reach to the level of other people. The people who have fostered the same level of success in months. It depends on how capable we are to learn, how capable we are to figure out our own way, how capable we are to be comfortable when things are not tangible. Results feel like stagnation. And that's what I observed today. And I'd consider I may take time, or it may take a lot more time to reach to the level of that specific number that I'm looking for. But the overall purpose was interacting with people. I am interacting with people not in that way, but somehow I receive a bunch of comments after posting some hundreds of videos. But still, it makes sense for me. And it should make sense to everyone as well too. Because again, something is better than nothing. And all we need to consider being comfortable with whatever we are having, meanwhile working for things that we are looking for, not living that thing that is giving less results. Simply just considering that thing as a secondary, or finding something that we can actually monetize, or the things which we can truly foster success as early as possible, or simply considering that thing as a hobby, but keep working to consider it as your passion. And then things may start feeling make sense. And that's what we should need. The more we take stress, the more things do not happen. The more we put stress on creativity, the more ideas don't come up. The more we try to be perfect, the less we perform. That's what I learned after filming more than 100 videos. And the moment I realize I don't have idea, I don't pressurize myself. Either things happen, either things do not happen. I don't pressurize myself. I simply don't film anything. And the moment I feel like I have idea, I don't consider whether it will work or not. I simply film videos on that idea. And the moment I'm damn confident, I have energy, in just one take, I film that video. And it's a one take video too. And that's why these are small things that help us to realize things are making sense. And there's one more way to realize how things make sense. If we truly are into things, then things make sense. Then we don't care about results. We don't care about timeline. We don't care about how things will happen, when things will happen. We simply do our thing, learn everything, work on things, improve, stack skills, and we deliver the best that we can. And that's how things happen. And every single effort automatically is a sense in and of itself. We should consider things in that way. If we want to feel comfortable, we want to live in abundance, we don't want to overwhelm ourselves, and we don't want to feel worried too much about the results, the success, the numbers, views, likes, whatever it is. And in that time, things make sense. And we are able to perceive how things make sense, and we feel comfortable with that idea. And we just need to look the another side of things. That's what I expect. That's what we should expect from things. There was an author, Elizabeth Gilbert. Before becoming a best-selling author 3 times, she'd work as a bartender. She'd save her money, go on world tour, research for her books, and then she'd write. By the time she wrote her first book, it became a bestseller book. She tried another book, again it became a bestseller book. After having a sure success of best-selling book, 3rd time, she was comfortable and she left her previous job. And that was the time. She didn't put pressure on her creativity. She didn't put pressure of results why things are not happening. She simply gave ample time to feed her results, to fund her passion. And that's what made her a best-selling author. I'm not saying that she didn't face any challenge. She tried multiple things. She wrote so much before becoming a bestseller author 3 times. She was failed in her profession before that time. But until she got successful, she didn't leave her first profession because she knew that things are making sense. But things make sense little by little. And little by little, little becomes more. And she knew that thing. And that was the time that made her a best-selling author. And we all should consider things in that way. We are inclined to idolize everything and plan everything, but nature's plan don't align with our plans. Our plans should align with nature's plan. And the moment plans align, then things make sense, and we are comfortable with those timelines when things make sense. And we simply don't lose our hope. We don't give up easily. And that's what we need to consider. We can prepare ourselves for things. We can learn things in that timeline. We can put all efforts that we need to put, but we can expect results, or we can stay rigid to the expectancy of that results. And the moment we become so rigid, then we hurt ourselves. Then things do not make sense. Then we give up and we realize at least we were doing something. It was meaningful for us. We were enjoying that things. And that enjoyment is the proof that things make sense too. That effort was making sense that you put in every single effort, in every single job application. Things make sense in that way. Things make sense when we are invested in those things. When we simply do things rather than achieving results. Things make sense when we do our job and we healthy detach with those things. Things do not make sense when we put our desperation in those things. And the moment desperation stays in those things, then only one thing happens. We put our energy in desperation rather than in our efforts. And therefore things do not make sense too. And that is the reason I try to stay detached in a healthy way. And that's what we should do to consider how things make sense. So we just need to perceive the another side of things. We just need to figure out how things make sense. We just need to not getting clung with those things, with those results. All we need to cling with efforts, with that immersion, with that enjoyment, with that feeling of posting things or doing things or making raps. And the moment we find that sense in all efforts, in all these things, then results come up. And the moment they come up, we embrace those results. And the moment they don't come up, then we are comfortable. And that's how we can allow imperfection. That's how we can be in abundance. And that's how things make sense. And I hope things will make sense for all of us, for me, for everyone else who shows up with their dreams, who shows up with their desires, who shows up with their relationships. What someone is looking for, things will make sense. And I make sure, I can guarantee, things are making sense. Just stay with those things. Look back and compare how far you have come. And then reach to that point that things are making sense. And if even things do not make sense, then move guilt-free. Because not every single time everything happens. Just differentiate. Rather than simply giving up. Choose when to give up. Choose when to stay. That's all I had to say about this. Bring the smiles on everyone's face. Make the world a better place to live. Signing off, Vivek Kumar. Yo buddy. Bye bye.